Don't sleep on the West Coast. Wake up. Good morning, baby. Off work sports. Denver Nuggets versus Portland Trail Blazers. Hey, I'm a big name fanatic as well. I was wrong. I was totally wrong on what I expected from the West. Even though that the Blazers and the Nuggets have a little bit of an easier path, in my opinion, I didn't expect both of those teams to go this far. OKC was my team coming out of that region or that segment of the playoffs because of their experience and talent level. And let's be honest, the big name. And I want to talk about the big name a little bit as we recap the game. We're starting to see a really big change in the NBA. And we got to look at the draft and talk to ourselves and say, is the athletic or the crafty man the guy that you draft? Okay. Zion Williamson is an athletic freak. He is an athletic freak. He's amazing. But is he as crafty as Nikola Jokic, who in this game, even though they lost, was the leader for the team in all three categories that they post mostly that you see: points, rebounds, and assists. This is a 7'1" big man leading in all those areas, who doesn't have speed, who doesn't have hops, but is very crafty player, can shoot the ball pretty well. What is happening to the NBA? It is changing to I call it a Larry Bird league, as a matter of fact, all right? So this is where Larry Bird back in the day, he didn't look athletic. You know, he didn't have all these special talents that a lot of these players have, but he was a better player. Higher IQ. Higher IQ is playing a large role in how successful you are. I'm going to get into football in a second. I missed a video where I was supposed to do the mock draft review. I will do that. I think I'll do it by team. It's going to take a long time. But anyhow, IQ is starting to play a huge role now in the way teams are starting to put their teams together. Will this help when the higher echelon team have a higher IQ superstar who has those talents? No. We're talking about like Mike Jordan, like a Kobe Bryant. These are high IQ players with all the talents. When you put those two together, it's special. Can Zion bring that to the table? I hate that, always segue to Zion, but he's just such an interesting prospect. I got to talk about him and Bobo. That said, Nuggets. I love their guard play, but now this is where the names actually do play a role. McCollum and Lillard are bigger names than Murray and Gary Harris, and it's showing. Lillard was off. McCollum came through. Another big segment piece. We got to respect the Blazers. They did not give up. They made some moves before the playoff run, adding Rodney Hood, adding Enes Kanter. Rockets. I made a video way back along with Fareed. I said, go ahead, sign Enes Kanter. Anyway, so here we go. Blazers are doing very well. Enes Kanter is now the starter, and he came in at the perfect time because Nurkic went out. By the way, Nurkic is not there, who would have been a great stalemate to Jokic, and he was injured. He has a broken leg. So Enes Kanter is playing the center role. They do have two big guys, Myers Leonard and Zach Collins on the bench, who are over 7 foot, who can kind of fulfill at least a space position, not replace Nurkic for everything that he did, because he was like a Jokic for the Blazers. So McCollum and Lillard on the squad have basically taken over. They took control of the game. Rodney Hood, that addition was great. He came through today. Rodney Hood is an intriguing prospect. He's not a prospect anymore. He has to be a vet because he's a guy that's a bit who came in. They're expecting him to be an 18, 19-point scorer, and he kind of did that one year for Utah Jazz. Went to the Cavaliers. He thought when LeBron James left, he would be the main man. But the NBA is tough, and when teams focus in on you, it's a little different story than when you have LeBron James on your team. That said, or excuse me, I don't believe LeBron James was there when he was there, but he was. But that's kind of fast. Players seem to think, hey, once the big guy leaves, it's my time. It's over. I'm taking him. Hey, you gotta remember they focus their defense on whoever's left. So sometimes that's why I said you need 3 or 4 all-stars on your team to make something happen. That said, Rodney Hood has that now with Portland. I think Enes Kanter is an all-star in my mind. He plays like one. from an offensive rebound perspective. I think Lillard's an all-star. I think McCollum is an all-star. And what I'm talking about is not necessarily make the all-star team, but putting up all-star numbers. And I think those guys can do that. Therefore, Rodney Hood, you now have the green light, you now have the open shots, and now you're utilizing your skill set and taking care of that opportunity and making it happen. Much kudos to Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood won this game for them. Great three, making big shots. Lillard had a bad shooting game. I'm also excited by what I'm seeing out of Evan Turner. Those slight minutes, great minutes that you're getting from Mr. Evan Turner off the bench. I'd like to see Seth Curry a little bit more engaged in the game. I think he can really spread them out, and they can really blow this team out if they wanted to. However, the Nuggets still have prospects that are not coming through. Will Barton has to show me some more. He's been kind of quiet through these playoffs. Malik Beasley's kind of taken over that six-man role, and, a little bit, Morris as well. So, things are changing a bit, but Will Barton is still a guy. They just paid him. He's a guy that can go off at any minute, and he can be the X factor if they can get Will Barton going on the Denver side to help out Jokic, because Gary Harris is great, Murray is great, but they're not going to outseed or outplay Lillard and McCollum on the same night, in my opinion. Okay? Oh, excuse me. More than two nights. One night, everyone can get that one night. I give everyone one game. Like I said with the Clippers. I think where we're headed here is, to me, I think the Blazers take this series, but it will be very tough. They're so evenly matched in a lot of ways. I think that the Blazers definitely have a bit more length than the Nuggets. Isaiah Thomas has not come into the game, be advised. So remember the superstar mantra, get a superstar, blah, blah, blah. He probably would have ruined the dynamic, and it's a shame to say, but I think he can play within the system. He was a six-man before. If something goes awry, you need some scoring, maybe you do bring in Thomas a little bit, even though they said they would sit him, see what he has left, because you got to advise, he's still on the team, guys. So he's there, just not playing at all. Really like their team. Trey Lyles hasn't been playing. That'll bring the length back. I think if this summer, if he doesn't find a way, he needs to get out of there. He's a great talent at Kentucky. I think they're just not utilizing the minutes for this kid. He needs to play. And then the guard from he came out of the Florida high school, IMG Academy, straight out of high school. I forgot his name, but anyhow, the backup point guard for the Blazers. I want to see the kid get a couple minutes. I think he's another superstar in the making in the future. Maybe 3-4 years down the line, you'll start to hear his name. That's when Lillard will be getting older, and more than likely the Blazers will let him go for a bigger contract somewhere to end his career. That said, Blazers, I think they take this in 6. Great series. It may go to 7, but a 6-game series, I think the Blazers can take this just because they have more experience. They're longer. They also have slightly a bit more weapons. But they're kind of evenly matched. And I forgot about Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap, if he can get going to his Atlanta years, then this may be a 6-game series to the Nuggets. But can they get the legs back? We'll see. I still got the Blazers going because of those two, McCollum and Lillard. Off Work Sports, I'm out. Interesting match. Probably the best evenly matched series that we'll see. Watch it, even though there's no big names. Nuggets versus Blazers. I'm out. Peace.